Hello and welcome to this tech demo, part of the RightsCon 2021 program. Thank you for joining this session today. I look forward to sharing a bit more about WikiRate and how our open data system is making supply chain data more accessible and transparent. My name is Aileen Robinson and I work as Program Officer at WikiRate. WikiRate is a non-profit based in Berlin that hosts an open data platform, wikirate.org. Our platform makes corporate sustainability data open and accessible to all. WikiRate now holds more than 1.25 million data points on the environmental and social performance of companies. We also hold 700,000 data points on the relationships between companies and actors in their supply chains. To gather this supply chain relationship data, we connect facilities listed on supplier lists to the brands they supply. And we bring this together with other data our partners have collected about brands and the working conditions in the facilities in their supply chains. Now, this might not sound very revolutionary, but finding out where and under what working conditions the clothes you wear or the phone you use are being made can be a very complicated task. As supply chains have become more globalized, they have become increasingly diffuse and fragmented. This makes it difficult to know under what conditions products are being made and who is responsible for ensuring that workers are being treated fairly. Our open data system allows us to disentangle relationships between companies and to connect facilities listed on supplier lists to the brands they supply. And WikiRate's data system is transparent because every data point on WikiRate is linked to a source so that researchers can always go back and verify its accuracy. Our data is also accessible since all of our datasets are available for anyone to access through the WikiRate platform. This includes downloading the data in a spreadsheet format and data requests via our API. It is through this API functionality that we can push data to external websites, such as the Fashion Checker tool, which I'll demo in a few minutes. The Fashion Checker is a project from Clean Clothes Campaign to connect the dots between brand commitments on living wages and the reality for workers on the ground. To create a dataset on living wages, Clean Clothes Campaign set up a data collection project, collaborating with partner organizations around the world to conduct surveys of fashion brands, as well as workers in their supply chains. This data was then fed into WikiRate using our system of metrics. Here is an example of the data they collected on brands, in this case, measuring the commitment of the brand to paying their supply chain workers a living wage. And this is an example of a metric from the worker survey portion of the Clean Clothes Campaign research. To gather the worker data, Clean Clothes worked with partners to survey factory workers on the ground. This data was then aggregated to the factory level to ensure anonymity and added to WikiRate. This metric gathers data on the actual wages paid to workers, derived from analyzing worker payslips. There is also data in the project on overtime, collective bargaining agreements, and other metrics on working conditions. All of this data is pushed to the Fashion Checker website via the WikiRate API. The Fashion Checker website is a worker and consumer-focused advocacy tool. It aims to provide more information about working conditions and wages in fashion supply chains. You can explore the website to find out more about the topic, and you can also pull up data profiles for each of the brands featured in the research. On the Fashion Checker homepage, I can search for a brand in the search bar and then load their profile. Now that I have loaded a brand profile, I can explore the data for this company. I can see where they are based, their revenue, and their top 3 production countries. Below, I can explore their scores on living wages paid, supply chain transparency, and living wage commitment scores. Here, I can see that this company has made a partial commitment to paying living wages to their supply chain workers. And by clicking here, I can find out more about this answer. I can see that this brand has achieved 3 stars on supply chain transparency. And if I want to explore how this or any other scores were calculated, I can click on the score and go to the full dataset on the WikiRate website. Through our unique scoring metric system, we can actually bring together data and score companies based on their results. When I click into the score, I can see which data points fed into the company's score and the weighting. I can also dig down further and see the original data points, including the sources for each data point. Going back to the fashion checker, beyond the company scores, the website also pulls in the supply chain relationship data for each company. Where there is wage data available, this is shown on the dashboard. And as the project continues over the next years, we will continue to add data which will develop this data set further. Workers' rights organizations in Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and in parts of Europe have been able to use data aggregated by the fashion checker to engage with brands on the working conditions in the facilities they supply to. The fashion checker website is also multilingual, being available in 11 languages. The language capabilities are being expanded this year to make the website more accessible to workers in other countries around the world. Also this year, Clean Clothes will be releasing an update to the tool, which again scores the companies on their living wage commitments and adds new factory-level worker data to the dataset. By bringing this data into the public sphere, Clean Clothes have contributed a dataset that can be built upon and tracked year by year. It is through collaborations like the Fashion Checker that we hope WikiRate can be leveraged as an open data backend and aggregation tool which can feed data into other projects through our API. We want to expand the potential of supply chain transparency so that datasets move out of their silos and can be combined together to make meaningful conclusions. Further, we want data systems which are open and interoperable, making it possible for different data systems to work together to achieve greater impact. We're always on the lookout for new collaborations, and I encourage anybody watching who wants to liberate a supply chain dataset to get in touch with us via the contact form on our website, wikirate.org. And if you are interested in the work of Clean Clothes Campaign and their Fashion Checker project, do check out their website, cleanclothes.org. Thank you for joining today's tech demo. It's been a pleasure to take part in this year's edition of RightsCon. I'll be available in the AMA after the session, so do engage there if you have any questions. Have a great rest of the conference.